I started bullet journaling on the 2nd of December 2024 and have been doing it every day since. I started with the intention that it would help me be more mindful about prioritizing my day, specifically my work day. I didn't quite realize then how much value I would get from it and use it for work, but also for my personal life. Today, I am diving into the next video in my bullet journaling journey to share how the implementation is going and whether my experience so far has been a game changer compared to the digital task management system that I had set up before, which worked really well. In this video, I'm going to cover 6 things, so not the usual 3 if you've been following me for a while. And I want to start with digital versus bullet journal, my Friday ritual, my daily planning, productivity and fluidity, minimalism and essentialism, and my challenges and improvements. Hi, I am Jill. If you're new here and you haven't visited me before, this channel is all about trying to do life right with more of a focus on work life. So if you like the vibes, you like the content, and you feel like it's relevant to you and it resonates with you, please subscribe and hit that like button. So let's talk about my digital setup. I was using Todoist, which is super automated and effortless and great, but strangely, no matter how convenient I found it, I found myself struggling with certain aspects of my routine. And one area that really stood out for me was my Friday ritual. I used to spend hours reviewing notes and trying to fit tasks into certain areas of Todoist and then in turn into my calendar. But with bullet journaling, I've been able to streamline this process. And now with bullet journaling, I look back over the day and pull my actions directly from the notes I've taken when I reflect each day, whether it's at the tail end of my workday or in the evening when I'm winding down. Rather than leaving it and doing this all on a Friday, I do it each day during the week because it doesn't take very long. Depending on the priority, I either place them in the future log if they're for next month, the monthly log if they're for the current month, or the weekly log if they are needed this week. I am not spending time selecting the day, which took significant time of mine, and in some instances it was wasted, as when I got to that day in my calendar or my priorities, they had changed and the task no longer aligned. So what happened? I would do it again. I would select another day and have to manage that risk all over again. Now I do this each day in the morning during my daily log at about 7 AM, pulling from the weekly log, and this takes minutes, not hours, of reviewing my calendar, which is then subject to change. This flexibility has definitely saved me so much time, given me the opportunity on my Fridays to focus more on the important tasks, helping me look ahead even more. Another aspect I've been enjoying is planning my day. I love this generally. Previously, I did this in the morning, and it was all digital. But because it was so automated, I wasn't really thinking about what I wanted to do that day. It was already pre-planned due to the time I had spent, too much time, pre-planning to the day, too far in advance, leaving little to no room to flex. Now I plan my day intentionally and mindfully, which has been a refreshing change. Plus, writing everything down visually helps me see my day much clearer, setting me up for success in a whole new way with so much more clarity. Is it a coincidence that I managed to get all of my Friday rituals and tasks done in half the time? I'm not sure, but if consistently using the bullet journal improves my productivity, then I think I'm going to keep that up. It's a bit of a no-brainer. The key thing I've learned is that my journal needs to be fluid. I can't box things in, especially since I have a busy job. I naturally give myself a lot of actions. I have many teams, and by habit, I keep track of those big actions for them so that I can follow up and monitor. So they go into my weekly logs and monthly logs, which means my weekly logs and monthly logs grow beyond 1 page. This doesn't happen once or twice. It happens quite regularly, and that's okay. The pages and the flow flex to my needs. I don't panic. I also don't template pages in advance. I don't set up sections to fill up later. My pages remain blank until they're needed, and then they're filled with intention, with my need that day. I'm generally using my bullet journal as a minimalistic basic system. There's no sense of performance or perfection, so I don't feel pressured to present my spreads on social media. In saying that, I like it to be neat. I do inject a bit of colour for the start of each day, making the date stand out. My bullet journal has a specific purpose for me, which is to manage my priorities focused on work first. It captures them, and then I mindfully prioritise them. I am not using the monthly timeline alongside the monthly log action list. It doesn't provide any value to the way I work. I am not presenting the calendar months at the start of the journal, as I use my digital calendar on my phone, and that's just duplication for me. I'm not recording every single action or task in my journal. Daily, weekly, monthly, repetitive tasks are recorded on my phone. I don't want to fill up my journal with those empty admin tasks. I keep it essential, meaningful, minimal, focusing on the tasks that move that needle. One challenge I have been facing is the flow of movement of note-taking on my iPad to writing actions in my bullet journal, writing in two different places. I've been so attached to my iPad, capturing my written notes from my day-to-day through meetings, through my own work at my desk, and all into OneNote. And I began to notice that my actions are being noted on my iPad, and then I would later, either same day, that evening, or later that week, duplicate effort and note the actions down again, but in my bullet journal. And then I had the problem that my notes with the context were digital in OneNote and the actions were analog in my bullet journal. And this just didn't sit easy with me, so I made the decision to bring it all into the bullet journal. This wasn't my intention at all, because I really enjoy using my iPad for note-taking, but it's working, it's flowing well, capturing the full picture, which supports my reflections daily, weekly, very nicely, all in the one place. So that's my experience with bullet journaling so far. It's still a journey, but I found it to be incredibly beneficial in managing my time, priorities since I started in early December. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when we conclude this 3-part video series looking at whether this system, this new way of working, is sustainable for me and what my bullet journal system actually looks like. If you're a part of the 72% of viewers not yet subscribed, and if you genuinely liked this video and liked the channel after you've had a wee bit of a look around, please subscribe. I would love it if I could add this kind of value to more of you.